Everybody has to have a life preserver. We'd be sitting in situ, waiting for somebody to come and verify.
I know people. There's some guy looking for Bigfoot in Cambridge Springs. Good luck to him. I know. Not too far from where my son said.
Time, you know, he had wore furs and everything.
They're talking about out in Cambridge Springs.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying here we could have maybe gotten away with it 100 years ago.
It's not exactly.
And so not only
area.
are they wanting us to spot birds,
there are some
but
pretty remote
the ones
areas.
that we spot, they want us to count them. So
Okay.
we have some Canada geese over here.
We have to count them.
That's a lot of them.
I know.
A lot.
But that's in this zone. There will be other zones that we go. There's a.
You can see the picnic tables under there, how high the water is now. It's been getting higher every year. I've been doing this is my 4th year with Sandra. She's been doing it for, I think, 8 years before that. Yeah.
Nice party.
And you can see up on the left there's a log. Oh, there's a lot of turtles on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
That,
I was looking at that before.
that is it's up to the left.
Oh,
We'll go
okay.
close to it. And that's anchored there for turtles to sun themselves on.
We've got turtles on the left. And 100 Canada geese.
Yeah, right. And 100 Canada geese.
So we'll.
We saw some three.
You see him, Dad?
If you want to go to the side, you can.
Hello. All snappers?
No, none. No snappers.
Mostly
Fox turtles, are they?
There is a snapper at the end. Looks like a younger snapper.
Oh, a little one, a whippersnapper.
But the big snappers are too large, usually.
These guys are big.
I don't know if it's the male or female. One is in the front, one's in the back. Probably the male.
I do not know the difference between male and female geese.
Not the grown ones. I mean, you can tell the juveniles in the first batch and second batch.
That's good to know because sometimes
They have a program called eBird.
they.
So you go on, you create your own login. And then you mark down. And you also
still keep an eye over the sides of the water. You might see like a large shadow in the water. Last week we saw like 3 or 4 snappers swimming along, so they can get 45 to 60 pounds. They have a nice shadow that's easily seen if you're looking.
We're coming up now where we always see the kingfisher. Somebody's swimming, fishing in the water right now. Just going under. Yeah, he just came up. Yeah, you see that spot, and now he's going up and down.
Breeding season now, so they've come into the shallow water.
No, that's true.
Everybody ducks. That was kind of cool.
There's another boat under here.
Do they have an idea of how high over?
Well, we're the highest, certainly since 1985, and we're approaching an all-time record high of water.
Wow.
Usually on Crystal Point, there'll be at least 18 inches of steel
Wow.
corrugated wall. Here, Crystal Point is to the right. There's usually a beach, or there has been a beach, not the last 3 years.
Wow.
And so it's
We've had a
part
heck
of
of a
it
lot
is,
of rain.
of course, the rain, and all that rain is
That
coming
used
from
to be,
climate change.
see where all the grass is there?
Yeah.
There used to be sand quite a ways out.
Yes.
Okay, so here we want to count, like we want to ballpark about 50.
Oh, and look from over there.
Oh my goodness, and farther over, way in the shore.
It's about 40 here.
Yeah, 40 and 10 out there, and then there's
40 over there.
Oh yeah, I'd say at least 80, don't you think?
Yeah.
At least.
At least it's a nice night to be out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
About 180. That's a lot. And one seat.
The boats after the War of 1812, Battle of Lake Erie, and then he was here for was it Martin? And so they were here for the winter, and the bay froze, and there was a smallpox outbreak, and people were just dying, and they weren't allowed to leave. So that's how the name changed from Small Bay, Little Bay, to Misery Bay.
Oh, I never knew that about this. Did you know that? They had smallpox?
Yeah, when we lost a lot of money.
And so they were able to get the boats out safely and get them away. And this is like,
I wonder where they went for dinner.
it was like, I think one of the, the officers was invited to something over that, that we needed to go to. 'Cause it's not far away.
No, 26 miles.
It's just crazy. And then here, this was like just a settlement, it wasn't a city by any stretch.
Jerry here. Sudsy. I see little Nick. He's out there fishing.
Yeah.
Same one.
Where does the book base from? Is it right off the end of the swing track? Yeah, pretty much. Where that buoy is all in.
Starting at the channel, that's when you come into the bay. Yes, the buoys would mark sort of Misery Bay.
How deep is Misery Bay here?
I don't know. Do you know how deep it is?
What, here?
Misery Bay.
It all depends on the spot, but usually 8 to 10 feet. Now it's probably closer to 12. Yeah.
In here we have that milfoil grass. It's an invasive grass. It's not too much of a problem early in the season or in high water, but it grows up and then it just grows over along the side of the top of the water and just chokes out everything underneath.
I know. Remember how it was?
They had the last baseline this year. That was a big deal once they cleaned up the swimming pool. But I guess it's too much work for them, and the yacht club's sick of having it at their place. So, but they're going to start up the other swim, the mile swim on the lakeside next year.
Here's the Lake Erie Freighter and the John Boat Garage over there. That's where they do a lot of boat repairs. So people that'll be shipping on the lake will have their boats, and that's where they also rebuilt the last incarnation of the flagship Niagara. What kind of duck is that? Do you know?
So I didn't know.
Foresight was your bag of blanket and grass. Like the grass they use in aquariums.
They have a sloop.
Yeah.
That's why they sloop the Martin's flat.
But they do,
They eat insects at the morning. I saw a bunch of insects.
there's a webcam in one of the corners of the track. And you can see it at purplemountain.org. And the babies are about 6 days old. Their eyes aren't open. Tell them, Mark, see how they soar? They're really practicing it. Oh, island on the west end of the bay, and in the late summer, the martins have a roost here, so they come from 250 miles, and we get up to 50,000 at once, and then before they, head to Brazil. So they'll just congregate and leave, and you never know how, it's not like they stay a long time, because you don't know how long has this one been here. They don't travel in families or pairs even. It's pretty awesome. It's worth watching. You can just go to the parking lot and watch it. The first parking lot. I did that last year.
Pennsylvania, Erie County, sooner or later they'll run into it. The guy? No. I don't know. It's with John.
They don't say where it is because
Oh, that makes sense.
there was a problem in the past of people, you know, irritating it. So, and then they think that might be why that pair left, because people would want to see the baby, so they'd, you know, go up and hit the tree, and so that became.
I just want to see one flying.
Oh, you come down here in the daytime, you'll see. Because they come from other places here too. Yeah, it's pretty common to see these up there. Weird standard are guessing that they got flooded out or something, because we're not seeing them this year. There's definitely one lodge still in place, but up here to the right, there's one back in here. Yeah. 2 bunnies.
4, 8.
Apparently Audubon is only interested in birds.
I was walking along the bay a couple of weeks ago. I saw a mink.
In residence.
Like those. Yeah, right. Park.
You never saw them back in the 60s. I never saw them.
Oh my goodness, this is huge.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was huge.
Of water behind them. Generally.
So right over here at 3 o'clock is where one beaver lodge used to be. That was about 3 years old. Now it's completely flooded out.
No.
What's that up there lying on the water there?
White belly, probably a martin.
No, it's got it's a brown with a cream-colored chest.
Up in Canada,
Yeah.
they're pretty aggressive.
They come after
That,
us.
that,
do
that
they?
actually makes noise and come after you.
Flapping their tails, man. They would
That's
be
what
up there
we
fishing.
usually try to get. But these would be white sand. Is that back off? Oh yeah. I see one for sure in the dead tree.
One on the at the top and then slightly down to the right, lower.
Is that another one?
I don't know. These binoculars don't work.
Yeah, well, on the park, you're not, you
I
can't
think
take
that
any
might be
wildlife.
coloring.
I think there's 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's the tree. Unless he's just sitting there.
And my teacher
No, it's
came
a
from
tree.
like right up small. He was in Poland,
Right.
part Russian. I was in Russia.
Oh, okay. So, that's somebody that underwater, but just sleeping.
Is that a catalpa tree over there? Look at that.
It is. One's a
Catalpa tree.
Weird, aren't they?
Yeah, big
They have a
leaves.
scent?
Yeah. You know, they
Scared
look.
it off yet.
They almost look like orchids.
Yeah.
You can see the stripe on the side of its head. A lot of times when you see them wading in the rushes or you'll see that when they move their head, that you can catch sight of that.
Bigger than a
Those
hair.
are really fun to see. And there's a beaver. There's another where it's flying over along the trees.
Oh,
Big turtles.
You just have to, like this time of year is so buggy. You're definitely going to get eaten. You could. 9 months. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's hard.
It's really pretty tough to get under.
Yeah.
Yeah, that back can be going just to this. They have like how many?
These binoculars are not good. Do you see it?
No, he blends right in. So hard.
Kind of that
Crest,
shape,
yeah.
but dumb.
Merganser, yeah. 'Cause, well, usually the mergansers are gone by now, but we could have a straggler. I'm not seeing where you're seeing it.
We don't see it now.
We don't see it.
It's kind of splashy. I don't know if you went under or into the weeds.
Yeah, it seemed like it had, you know, very young, not foliage. That's a different thing. Feathers. Thank you. I work with plants.
Is it raining? That's weird, I don't feel it, but it looks like it. Yeah, you can see
A lot of martins.
How fast does this boat go?
We could go maybe 3 or 5, 6, I don't know. Something over 5 miles, I'm sure.
Lovely. Never been out here. Peaceful.
Whatever falling for rain, at least in our area,
to be Exxon Valdez. Couldn't make the turn. You've done this enough. You space out a few times, huh?
Nothing can't break anything in here.
And none of the eggs got broken, and it was really dramatic.
So I know that James Hill,
Yeah.
you know, I was amazed that they had, they put the green leaves in there, and the green leaves actually kick out a little cyanide supposedly to kill
kidding.
bugs.
The mites.
No, I didn't.
You take the
oh,
float
as they,
flies.
as they like deteriorate
As
a
that
little.
they deteriorate, they have enough cyanide,
I
and it's
can't
like a
believe
bug
it.
repellent.
Wow. That is cool, because that's when you feed the leaves to me, and that's when you get really also this time of year you don't know if you're looking at an adult or not.
Yeah, I think.
There's another kingbird right there.
The root that looks like a pineapple is so thick.
Pretty invasive.
I mean, it is a native plant, I guess. So, but man.
Guy dog was living out west and we wanted to go to the restroom and he was sitting there and that dog was there. So that's why I went over to the porta potty because I've been doing that. The dog?
I'll find out. See what she's doing.
Yeah, because so there's a dog there and then the dog stood up and was like, bye. It looks like there's some rain south of here.
So how many deer are out here now?
It's only 3,200 square acres. It kind of sounds like a lot, but it's really not. You could replace water. All of the, the animals that live on the farm.
Yeah, we have that down in our general area and females to twins for sure.
Yeah, there's been a couple sets of twins spotted on the park this year.
And I swear that they only take anything that's over $24.99. And so my husband said the other day, and I found a whole bunch of things eating. He said, maybe you should lower the price. These are only $3.99. Don't eat.
I can't remember who put it on. It was the Erie County Garden Club kind of speaker. I think she was from PA on it. I'm not sure. But she went through this book they made of native plants and listed Scotland Yard as one of the places.
Yeah, we do.
You have to come down here in the morning and sign up. You drive all the way down, sign up for the seat. They do them at 10, 2, 12,
11, 1, and 2. You can sign up for special 10 o'clock rides, and those are offered on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So you can sign for them online as you would here for the evening.
Yeah, I was really excited to get the online reservation because we kept wanting to come down, but you know, we live far enough away that I could just like hop on over and sign up ahead of time.
And that's why they added the online